So here is the Sega Saturn. This is my console that I've had since 2005. And what I have here is the brand new controller. And we also have the action replay for the Sega Saturn. And then we also have a Japanese copy of Biohazard for the Sega Saturn. So I've never actually played a Japanese Saturn game on this console. I've never fired one up. So the first thing we're going to do is actually check out this brand new controller. And shout out to Perry for recommending the action replay and the controller. And he's the one who hooked me up with the copy of Biohazard on Sega Saturn. So thanks to him for kind of guiding me along here. And I wanted to get the right stuff for the job and also get this running properly. So look at this. This comes in a nice little case. I haven't even opened this yet, so I figured doing this kind of live, not live because I'm not actually live right now, but doing it while I'm recording the video is going to be a little bit more interesting here. Look at that. It comes in a case. This is the controller. This is the retro bit. This is the one that comes with the Bluetooth adapter. So it comes with the Saturn adapter, and it comes with the USB. And it's killer. It could be used with Sega Saturn, Genesis, Mac, PC, PS3, Switch, all that stuff. So, yeah. Alright, so the case opens up just like this, and inside we have the USB and the Saturn piece. So this is actually what we need today. We're going to use this guy right here. Now, I had a crappy third-party one before that was corded, so this will be a lot better. So it looks like you plug it in. This is looking for a signal. So let's see if we can get this thing rolling here. We'll pop this controller out just like this. This actually feels really good. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It actually feels like a nice controller here. We got the plastic on here. Alright, so all you have to do is hold down this button here and connect it by pressing the start button. This powers on, and it looks like it automatically connects, as you see right now on the footage here. Okay, so now that that's kind of figured out, that was the first little step here, is trying out this awesome controller. Which cool, it has this nice case too, which I'm going to keep, so really cool. I think they also have a couple different colors that you can get as well, but I want to just get the black to match the console. So, okay, let's try out this action replay, which also can be used as a memory card, but it also is going to be used as a action replay, obviously. You can use cheats, but for this is actually going to enable us to play region-locked games. So I've never tried this either, but again, this was recommended from Perry, so we're going to see if this actually works. If it doesn't work, I'm blaming him. Alright, so this starts up here. Action replay, EMS. This is straight 90s right here. Alright, so start game, select cheats, memory manager. So this is the Action Replay Plus version 2.02. I don't even know. Again, this was off of Amazon. Here's the box right here. Action Replay Plus. This was on Amazon, believe it or not. And, you know, it was $29.99, but I was like, screw it. I'll just get the one that would work with this thing. So if we could select cheats, right? So we could go into the cheat menu, and then it has a list of games, it looks like. This is like pretty much all the Saturn games you can think of. I'm sure you can put in stuff here too. Like we got Mortal Kombat, Panzer Dragoon, Shinobi. I mean, all the Street Fighters. So I didn't even see Resident Evil on here. No Resident Evil. But there's probably cheats that actually you could put in like any other Game Shark or whatever. But the big thing is, can we pop in this Japanese copy of Biohazard and check it out and see if this will boot up? Well, let's give it a shot. So if we go to, let's put the disc in here. The action replay's in here. This is my first time actually popping in this disc. I got it from Perry a few years ago and actually never had the chance to check out the Japanese Saturn game. So pop that in. I hear it spinning, so it's already spinning. and we're going to click A on Start Game, and we're going to see what happens. Start games with no cheats enabled, no cheats selected. I mean, it doesn't matter. Oh, wow. It's starting up, just like that. That's all it took. Just a little action replay, and it looks like we got through the Capcom screen, and here it is. So we were playing the Japanese Sega Saturn Resident Evil. So let's boot it up and see if we can spot some of the differences here. I mean, some of them are very small in terms of the censorship, but this is the goriest version, or at least it's supposed to be. But now we can actually check it for ourselves. Okay, so all these shots here, it is the Japanese normal uncut intro that you would get. It is just in black and white. Alright, we're in. It's playing. Love the beefier Saturn models. They had to rework with polygons because the Sega Saturn was a beefy machine. Very powerful, especially against living things.
Captain Wesker, where's Chris?
Stop it! Don't open that door!
So once we get into this, we're going to test out what we can do with the severed head here. I know that the Japanese stuff will be in here.
Chris is our old partner, you know.
Okay, let me handle this. Stay alert.
Okay, so now this is actually where we can test out the kicking off of the head, because there is the zombie that's hanging out in this back room here when we first start. So this will be the ultimate test here. And see, I turn up the brightness a little bit so we can actually see where this thing lands. It is darker back here, so... Alright, let's see, guys. Let's do it. And kick. Like a fucking football. Yep. There's the head right here. See that? It's like his legs and then the little head. So it actually doesn't disappear in this version. That's awesome. Okay, so that was Biohazard on the Sega Saturn, and it's great to know that the action replay runs this thing smooth, and it's awesome that I was finally able to check it out and see the little differences that it offered. Now, we're not done yet. I actually have a bonus. I actually have something I recently purchased from Perry and his shop, which was the original House of the Dead. Now, funny story, the reason why I actually have this Saturn and I bought it in 2005 is because back on eBay, back in those summer days, I was heavy on playing House of the Dead all the time. And House of the Dead 1 was not only down the shore at my local arcade, it wasn't so much local as it was, 40 or 50 minutes away from my house, but they did have a House of the Dead 1 and 2 arcade machine in my local movie theater growing up, and it was all over the place in the arcades. And I had a Dreamcast, and I was able to get House of the Dead 2. I have Typing of the Dead, but House of the Dead 1 back then was going for around $50 to $60. That was obviously a lot of money for me back then, but obviously it was a matter of, can I get this thing for a cheap price? Long story short, I ended up getting the Sega Saturn first, but it was specifically for House of the Dead. And I never ended up getting it because the closest bid that I got to, it went up to like $60 or $70, and it was too high. My dad was like, don't do that. Don't bid on that stuff. And now it goes for $600-700 complete in box. So, joke's on me. But years later, I always wanted to play it. And obviously the Japanese edition is the cheaper one to go with if you want it physically. But again, let's test it out on the action replay, because I've never actually been able to do this. So as a little bonus, I wanted to capture this moment because I've always wanted to pop this in on a Sega Saturn. Even if it's the Japanese edition, it's good enough for me. This is currently a remake that came out on the Switch, and it's coming out on Xbox and all the other consoles. So I'm going to be waiting for the better version to come out so I can actually play the House of the Dead 1 remake. But it's cool that I have it in somewhat of a home console version, even though I'm playing it with the controller. But, you know, it'll just be a test. So let's pop it in. So let's shut it. It'll start spinning. And then the action replay is already in there, so all we got to do is click A for start the game. Alright, and we're going to start with no cheats. And we got the Sega screen. This thing works like a charm, man. And of course, the discs are in like mint condition. So, oh man, this is cool. This is just cool to have, man. Wow. You can actually turn on the lives. Slight speed. Make the speed 5 at least. I wonder if there's... I think there's probably a newer modern gun, light gun that you can try, but... Alright, let's test it out. We'll just test out arcade. Just as a bonus, chat room. Tragedy. I mean, playing this in the arcades, playing this in Ocean City, New Jersey, playing this in my old movie theater, I mean, this just brings me back. It's really cool to finally have this. And again, the action replay boots this thing up like a charm. Oh no!
Oh! Reload! Others are still inside. Save them.
I love the guitar music.
Help!
So reload is C. Oh man, it's so hard to... Like, how am I supposed to save him? Yeah, it obviously runs a lot slower than the arcade edition. But you know, it's on console, so like I can't even be mad. Obviously, House of the Dead 2 ran smoother on the Dreamcast because that was the Dreamcast. But this for Saturn is still killer. This is so cool.
It's you!
Sophie! Sophie's always getting taken away. That bitch. But doing this with the controller, it's better than nothing. That's how I used to play the Dreamcast anyway. Wow, we saved him, chat room. Yeah, give me a life. Because I killed one of the other guys accidentally. Yeah, this thing runs, man. Runs solid. And the frogs. I love the music, too. Loading. It's kind of funny, because in the arcade, it loads so much faster, so all this is, like, simultaneously, but, you know, happening, but on here it has to load. It's pretty cool. I like those little differences, you know? Because I've never seen this on console. I don't think I've ever, like, looked up video or done anything like that. Oh, I killed him. Oh no! I killed him! Thank you guys so much for watching this edition of Action Replay with Sega Saturn and Biohazard. We got this to run and checked out the uncensored head decap, and we got House of the Dead 1 to run as a little bonus. So both of these, with their American ports, are a lot more expensive, so you can save yourself some money if you do have a normal Saturn. You can get some of these, get the game enhancer for $30, and get this controller, which is around $30 too, which is all Bluetooth and it gets the job done. I'm a big fan already, so thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Perry, again, for kind of guiding me along and hooking me up with the copies. So hit that thumbs up, smash the thumbs up button, and comment down below. Let me know if you ever checked out any of these ports on the Saturn, and I'll catch you guys next time. A big shout out to everyone that supports me on Patreon and YouTube memberships. YouTube members grants you access to voting on content with custom badges and emojis for chats. Patreon gives you the same voting privilege, but even more. Gain access to uncut recording sessions, weekly exclusive Patreon shows, and live hangouts on Patreon. Tiers start at just $1. Thank you so much for your support, and I will catch you next time.